Oh, excuse me.
Calls and conversations continue in less than 3 minutes as the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues after this.
Thank you for riding with the Watchdog. Live and local, just the way you like it.
I'm Josh from Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration. I hope you are staying healthy. We continue to respond to structural, fire, and water emergencies. We are combating COVID-19 with our highly trained staff and latest disinfection systems, providing preventative and reactive disinfection to facilities around the region, while working with area hospitals on isolation areas and air filtering. At Panhandle, we continue to follow social distancing and hygiene protocols. We are dedicated to our community, and together we will get through this.
Protecting you isn't just our job, it's our passion. If 2020 has proven anything, it's that anything can happen. You need to have the right partner to guide you through insurance pitfalls to make sure your business is adequately covered. From your property and equipment to your employees and your family, Glessner Wharton Andrews Insurance has the drive and the ability to keep you protected.
Getting a COVID-19 vaccine is the best way to protect you and your loved ones. The vaccines have been tested, they're safe, and they work. And they're available at pharmacies in many locations across West Virginia. Making the choice to get vaccinated means getting West Virginia back to regular life. Here's West Virginia University men's basketball coach Bob Huggins.
The pandemic took away the greatest home court advantage in college basketball, our Mountaineer fans. I'm Coach Huggins, and I'm tired of empty arenas, masks, and social distancing. That's why I got my COVID vaccine. They're safe, free, and available almost everywhere without hassle or delay. Let's work as a team, get vaccinated, and fill a Coliseum next season. I'm Coach Huggins. I got my COVID shot. Now the ball's in your hands.
Get your free COVID-19 vaccine today. Find a location near you. Visit vaccinate.wv.gov.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the Watchdog trusts.
Dutch Boy's new Platinum Plus paint with Stain Shield technology has the performance you expect from a luxury paint at a price you didn't. Platinum Plus is up to 50% more washable and stain resistant than a leading premium paint in satin sheen. Superiority ranges from 24 to 50% depending on sheen selected. Platinum Plus keeps your walls looking new longer. Menards and Dutch Boy Paint have you covered. Go ahead, live your life.
Get 11% off everything now at Menards. Savings are a mail-in rebate. See store for details.
From the Watchdog, here's your local weather forecast for your Wednesday. Mostly sunny and hazy, with afternoon thunderstorms developing, high of 87. Tonight, scattered rain showers and a low of 68. And for your Thursday, expect rain showers in the morning with a chance of thunderstorms in the afternoon and a high of 80. And that's your local weather forecast from the Watchdog.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
Good morning, old friends.
Hey, what are you doing here? About to go on the air.
Uh-oh, guess what day it is?
Wake up, fairy princesses, wake up!
Guess what day it is?
Get up before I get you up!
Guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Hump day.
Woo-hoo! This is Wednesday. She calls it over the hump day.
Wednesday.
Hump day. Wednesday.
We ain't one at a time in here.
They broadcast me out on the radio. We're mass communicating.
Let Wednesday begin.
Hit it!
Conversations you care about from people you know. This is the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe, celebrating the 100 days of summer.
73 degrees and foggy at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport, 72 and foggy. Here at my home studios in the Elm Grove section of Wheeling, I really miss the sunlight that the last few days has been beaming through the door. It feels so dark in here today because don't see the sunlight streaming through, but it's not going to be a particularly bright day today. You might see a little bit of sunshine, but basically scattered thunderstorms, the word of the day. Muggy, warm, high today around 86 degrees. I don't know, Biffy, what the official high was yesterday, but man, it was really too darn hot yesterday. Were you outside at all?
For a little bit, but I mean, you can only, at least I could only sit outside for about 10, 15 minutes at a time, and that was it. Then it just got to the point where I said, forget this. I'm sitting in the air conditioning.
Yeah, I went out and sat on the deck for a few minutes mid-morning. I was going to took a little workout there. I thought, this is a beautiful sunny day. Sit out here and do, 10 minutes. I was like, man. Plus, I was just sweating over the papers and stuff. I had to go back inside. Last night, we did our usual Tuesday night playground visit with Teddy. He visits one of his little girlfriends up there every Tuesday. And, we gave him 15 minutes and said, okay, hey, y'all see each other? Time to go home. Whew, man, it was just sweltering. Yeah, and we'll check with Zach a bit later on, see what the official high was, but it was just too darn hot. I think I saw in the Big 7 in Belmont County opened up some cooling centers. Is that right?
Yes, they had a list of different places cooling centers. I don't know how many exactly, but they did have a list.
Because I had said yesterday it was going to be such a hot day. Maybe you should, think about going to a pool if you could, or maybe going to the movies, or go shopping and take a nice long leisurely shopping trip in the air conditioning, whatever. Find whatever way you could to get out of the heat because it was hot yesterday. Heat waves are apparently becoming more and more frequent in America to the point that some public health officials, Biffy, are now suggesting we name our heat waves like we name hurricanes. We have Hurricane Elsa going on right now. Well, is she a hurricane now? She was. Did she stay hurricane status or go back? I don't know.
No, I think she's still hurricane status right now and expected to hit landfall. And I think once she hits landfall, then it'll be reduced back to a tropical storm. Yeah.
But some public health officials saying we ought to name the heat waves the way we name tropical storms. So it would be, heat wave Howard or whatever. I don't think I've ever heard of a Hurricane Howard. So I could have a heat wave maybe named after me. Heat wave Howard or whatever. Public health officials also apparently saying that we ought to think about having heat days at work and school. Maybe kind of replacing the old snow day, I guess. the concept would be that for workers and for students, they would be allowed to stay home on days when the temperature and humidity get to, I don't know what the number would be, too high, but that, employers and school districts could officially declare heat days to protect their kids. I don't know that either of those is a good idea, but apparently it is. Extreme heat is growing to be a problem. So look out for the heat, I guess. Today's going to be another hot one and muggy. So it's not even have the pleasure of the sun. It's just going to be hot and muggy outside. All right, 7:14 here on the Watchdog Morning Show for a Wednesday midweek edition. Hump day. If you want to join me, you can. 304-214-1600. 304-214-1600. Happy to have you on the phone lines and to chat. Text line is open and available if you want to. 304-232-8255 is our CityNet hotline. You can use that as well. Biffy, I speculated on this a couple days ago. Over the weekend, you told me you heard a lot of neighborhood boomers, right? A lot of neighborhood fireworks in your neighborhood on the 4th of July weekend, yes?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We had lots of them around here. Some were lighting up the sky, lots and lots of boom, boom, boomers. I mentioned there was one particular group or area here in my neighborhood that concerned me a bit because it was so... They were clearly projectiles into the sky. They were real fireworks, but they were doing them so low that I was afraid they were going to explode and maybe actually burn buildings. So we had one of those examples. But I said on 4th of July, I turned on the scanner out of curiosity to see, were the police rushing around? There's been another report of a firework. Please check that out. We're checking that out right now. I thought, is there going to be, since this was going to be the year we're going to crack down on fireworks, right? Increase the fine to $500 for using or possessing fireworks in the city limits, and it's going to be a crackdown on the city police and fire. Put out all kinds of information reminding you what's prohibited and you can't do this. So, Biffy, you know how many citations for illegal use of fireworks there were this weekend?
0.
Not quite. Uno.
1.
According to Phil Stahl at the Wheeling Police Department, they received 48 calls from people. Officer, there's fireworks in my neighborhood. And between Friday and Monday, they got a whopping total of uno. One person cited for illegal use of fireworks. Now, I suppose you could interpret that as the new fireworks ordinance worked. People were afraid of the increased fine. They didn't want to pay $500 for having the fireworks, and so they decided to, not have fire. You could say that if it wasn't for the fact that we all heard the fireworks, right? We all heard it booming in our neighborhoods. Everybody I talked to said there were plenty of, backyard neighborhood fireworks going on there. So
it became a joke
That's exactly right.
It became a joke at the house. Every time I heard something go off, I'd look at that and go, call city council. There's a firework right there.
Exactly right. Phil Stahl at the police department, their PIO, public information officer. Phil says police were on patrol to keep an eye out for fireworks. But, and isn't this what we said? Due to the response time, it's difficult to get to a site quickly enough to deal with a personal fireworks display. Which, isn't that what we said all along, Biff?
Well, and I think too, if people got used to the patterns and everything when they patrolled, I mean, it's really not that hard to figure out when to shoot them off.
We know, we've said all along. By the time somebody calls, says there were 48 calls, so 48 times over the weekend in the city of Wheeling, someone called and said, "There's fireworks going off in my neighborhood." Okay. But by the time the cops get, so they call 911, I suppose. 911 dispatches an officer who, is not necessarily on that street corner, and they go to the neighborhood. How are they going to find the person? It's an impracticality. It's an impracticality. Phil Stahl says most times when the call is dispatched, we get there and nothing is located. Well, duh.
It is a timing issue that apparently the people shooting off fireworks won. And they probably knew they were going to win because if you're smart, you have someone that's usually on the lookout just in case something, you look down the street, oh, that looked like a police car. Yep. A blob. Police car getting ready to come down the street. Okay.
Hold off for a minute.
Yeah, hold on till we go, they go by or they're down the end of the road. Okay, you look. Is he gone? Yep, he made the turn. Okay. There you go.
Listen, I'm not making fun necessarily of the city. I'm not making fun of the increased fine. But anybody who believes that you're going to legislate your way out of people having neighborhood fireworks it ain't going to happen. As you and I said all along, unless a cop happens to be driving down a street and somebody in the neighborhood right next to where they're driving, they're stopped at a stop sign and somebody, whoa, right over there. It's right there. Let's go get it. Woo, woo. Short of that, you're not going to catch anybody for the fireworks.
You would have to have the worst bad luck of all time.
Yeah, that's right. You would lose your neighborhood fireworks card.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's no doubt. You're turning that bad boy in, and you hope you haven't turned your man card in already, because that's the only card you're going to be keeping.
Yeah. You mean Bob got caught by the cops? Yeah. How did he get caught by the cops? How's it? No more fireworks for him. So over the holiday weekend, the big crackdown, we're going to a grand whopping total of one citation issued. I think I saw it was for, they also issued multiple warnings. Don't you do that again. Geez. There are things probably more important to worry about, I guess. But at least the city has done their duty now. They made it more expensive if you do get caught. And it should be, because if you get caught, that's stupid. So you're stupid. And please, don't anybody... I have said, I have known people who have lost digits, and one person who went blind. And we saw examples just this past weekend, not around here, but nationwide, of serious injury and death that occurred from bad fireworks. So it is a problem. It is a problem.
Yeah, and
I'm just saying, increasing the fine, decreasing the fine, but unless you want to create a fireworks patrol department, what are you going to do?
Yeah, and one of those cases, the one in Columbus, it cost a 24-year-old goaltender his life.
Yep. Yeah, so I'm not making light of the problem, but I'm suggesting that the solution is a lot more complex than the city and others are believing. All right, which is also my segue into what I want to talk about next, which is this homeless liaison. The city of Wheeling officially approved the homeless liaison yesterday by a very narrow margin, 4-3. Mary Elliott said to me afterwards, she said, well, Howard, you're always saying you wish we had more debate and discussion and you didn't have so many unanimous votes and you had more split votes. Here's your split vote. We gave you one. So, thank you, I guess. On a 4-3 vote, Wheeling Council did authorize creating this new homeless liaison position. I want to say, before I go any further, I acknowledge a serious problem with homelessness in the city of Wheeling and the entire Upper Ohio Valley, and it's a problem that we must deal with, okay? No question about that. I am not dismissing homelessness at all. But I have tons of questions about this homeless position. Maybe to some extent it's the same thing as the fireworks position. I asked the fireworks fine increase. I asked the question, what's the point? What do you think you're going to try and do with this? And I want to share some of my thoughts in just a couple of minutes, and then Mayor Elliott's going to be by later on to try to answer some of my concerns. So we'll talk about that coming up next. 7:24, 24 after the hour, 73 and foggy at the airport, 72 and foggy here at my home studios in the Elm Grove section of Wheeling. We are the Watchdog Morning Show here on WKKX and WVOY.
You know, there's
Coliseum next season. I'm Coach Huggins. I got my COVID shot. Now the ball's in your hands.
Get your free COVID-19 vaccine today. Find a location near you. Visit vaccinate.wv.gov.
Are you or your loved ones facing a serious legal battle? The law office of Paul Harris wants you to know you aren't alone. Do you need someone that's not afraid to go to trial and fight for your rights? Attorney Paul Harris and his team are willing to go where most firms are not. The courtroom. With a successful track record in civil litigation, criminal defense, including tax issues and healthcare fraud, Harris Law Office will fight for their clients by offering the most aggressive representation in and out of court. Call Paul Harris at Harris Law Office for a free consultation. 304-232-5300.
West Virginia Outdoors is the Mountain State's only hook and bullet radio show, dedicated to the more than 250,000 hunters and anglers across the state. Award-winning host Chris Lawrence has been tracking down hunting and fishing stories for more than 25 years.
Went in behind a little birch tree and head. I reached down and got the bow position and found its horns and dropped down and shot it in the neck.
Whether it's hunting and fishing news,
it tracks real super well, but not with a 60-pound carp tied to the side.
Or just compelling stories about the enjoyment of the great outdoors.
How close did you let him get in before you let fly on him?
He was about 18 yards, Chris. He got turned in the right angle there, and I touched off the trigger, and when I hit him, he ran kind of up the hill, which scared me at first.
West Virginia Outdoors covers it all, Saturday mornings at 7:06 a.m. And for your daily fix, Outdoors Today brings you 2.5 minutes of news and notes from the woods and water every weekday morning. No one covers the great outdoors like Chris Lawrence. And Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Watch out! He could climb on his soapbox at any time. The Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues.
$7:28 in the morning, 73 at the airport, 72 here at the home studios. Wheeling Council yesterday afternoon, on a very narrow margin, 4-3 vote, approved this creating a homeless liaison position. And there's just, to me, a lot of questions about it. First of all, the process of it getting there concerns me a little bit. There were two committee meetings where the issue was hashed out a bit, so there's been some public debate ahead of time. There was one official from Catholic Charities who was allowed to speak to council before the position was officially voted on yesterday. So there's been some vetting of this in public, but I don't think there's been enough public vetting. And the mayor said at council yesterday that there have been plenty of discussions about this. Well, then they must have been private discussions, and I'm not sure that's where an issue like this needs to be discussed. So, first of all, how we got to the point that this position was created bothers me. More importantly, what does this position do? And again, I want to begin with you understanding I am 1,000,000% in support of dealing with the issue of the homelessness in a very caring, compassionate way. We have a homeless problem in the city of Wheeling, and we must deal with it in a way that is compassionate to those who are homeless. I am not ignoring the problem at all. But neither is the city, neither the city with a small c. We have youth services systems. We have Catholic Charities. We have the Greater Wheeling Coalition for the Homeless. We have the Salvation Army. We have, I'm forgetting dozens of agencies that deal with the issue of homelessness. We have Project Hope. We have street moms. It's not as if the issue is not being dealt with. It is being dealt with by a lot of people on a lot of levels with a lot of expertise in homelessness. So why does the city in any way have to have a position? This is that whole idea that somehow city government must be in the middle of everything. No, it doesn't need to be. We have multiple agencies doing multiple types of work with the homeless. So why do we even need another position? But more importantly, if we're going to have another position, what is this position going to do? We're going to hire somebody now. A person is going to get hired, and having creating jobs, I guess, is good. If you read some of the media accounts of it, everybody seems to have a different idea of what this position is. One person in the media, one of the media stories, says there is now a position for someone to, quote, be the spokesperson for the homelessness, or for the homeless. I don't know that this person's supposed to be the spokesperson for the homeless. I didn't see or hear any discussion of this would be the homeless advocate, if you will. Others have said that, it's designed to, the mayor kept talking about we need more data points. Basically concerned that we need a better assessment of the actual number of homelessness we have here in the area. So we need more data points was the phrase they heard. Well, that's another possible part of this position, I guess. Rosemary Ketchum, who proposed this idea, says the liaison is needed to help collaborate and coordinate efforts of the many local advocacy groups that help the homeless. What is it that suggests to the city that they're able to hire someone who can better coordinate these groups than the groups themselves could? There's an arrogance, I think, here that concerns me. And I want to, again, quickly say, I'm not disparaging anybody's motives. I know that Rosemary is greatly concerned about homelessness. I know the mayor is greatly concerned about homelessness. I'm not implying that there's anything attuned with their intent. I'm just asking, what is this going to do? I said yesterday, I think this is not ready for prime time. It is now prime time. It was voted into action yesterday. But I don't think we really know. Here's what the position is, according to the official ordinance that was approved yesterday. The position will be a limited time job, 3 years. It will sunset when the current council goes out of office. A limited time, 3-year position to accomplish primary duties such as, now notice that phrase, such as. This is not describing what the job is, it's just, it could be. Such as developing, implementing, managing the city's comprehensive support program to address homelessness within the city. Do we have a comprehensive program in the city of Wheeling? Do we need one from the city of Wheeling when there are other agencies that are already doing this? This concerns me a little bit. This is from the actual ordinance right here. Implementing a multidisciplinary team. A team? Is this going to be one person or many people? Implementing a multidisciplinary team to engage wraparound services for the city's homeless population, such as serving as the city's liaison in coordination of resources and services for service agencies, grant writing, and other applicable duties. It's just sort of a catch-all, very broad ordinance. The city manager will then just decide what the actual job description is. And Bob Herron, whom I have unbelievable respect for, Bob Herron quickly made it clear yesterday at council when the question was raised, well, will council have a chance to actually vote on a real job description for this? Bob Herron said, no, that'll be my job from now on. So Bob Herron's going to write this job description off of this really broad-based ordinance here. And I still don't know, what are we trying to accomplish? What are we trying to accomplish?
And all the previous organizations and agencies that you named, you mean to tell me that you can't just in that group alone find people that can do that?
Exactly. We have dozens of, I think dozens of agencies and probably dozens and dozens and dozens of people employed to deal with the homeless from a variety of different point of view, sort of the social service point of view, finding homes for the homeless, finding temporary shelter, youth services does the free shelter and so on. We have those that worry about the physical well-being of the homeless, like Project Hope or the Street Moms. The city does have some involvement. The city gets involved when the problems kind of, when the tent city became a problem, they had to move the tent city there in Center Wheeling out and so on. There are plenty of people involved in this. What is the city? And by the way, there may be an answer. The mayor's going to join me later on, and maybe he has answers to this. But as I read the ordinance itself, it's just a real sort of, we kind of want to do something. We need to do something. That's what it boils down to. It's we need to do something. What are we going to do? Now, again, I'm not opposed to dealing with the homelessness or the homeless. And I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to some kind of a city position that kind of just acts as, if they have like an advisory board of homeless agencies, the city would have a voice on that board. But it sounds to me like they're planning on something bigger and more extensive than this. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean this sincerely. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's check with Mike on the CityNet hotline, see what he thinks. Good morning, Mike.
Hey, Howard. I think you're completely wrong on this issue, and I fully support the homeless liaison position. Why? Because having actually worked in local nonprofits and trying to help the community, I'll tell you something. There is no coordination. None. Each of these organizations, we each have our own agenda. We each have our own purpose. The city of Wheeling can hire somebody who will be a service coordinator and will help people actually know what services are available without having to fundraise. That's the problem with the local organizations, the local nonprofits, is everybody who has worked in these organizations for so long is always up against a budget, and we're always up against a timeline. The city of Wheeling.
Michael, are you implying, or are you reading into this ordinance that the city would take over funding of homeless issues?
No, the city should not take over funding of homeless issues. The city should take over service coordination.
Okay, but those seem to me two. I'm not arguing that. I'm trying to get a handle on what you're saying, because you make a good point. But you're saying that they're up against the issue of fundraising. Fundraising wouldn't change at all, because the city, as far as I know, isn't going to put a ton of financial resources into the actual homeless work. They're going to have a person who's going to be coordinating this. So exactly. How would that? First of all, I just asked the generic question, but not really of you, but of the mayor or anybody. Why do we think the city is better able to hire someone than people who are trained to deal with homeless? What makes the city think they can find the magic person to do a better job of coordinating? But secondly, in terms of what you're saying, how's the city going to help create any smoother fundraising issue?
Because the city can create an exact dollar amount as to what this position is worth,
Mm-hmm.
and can set the agenda as far as service coordination. I'm just so sad to see the Greater Wheeling Coalition of the Homeless to be all this burden put on them, or on Project Hope, or on Street Moms.
And again, I'm a little unclear, Michael. And then so you're suggesting then that all the burden would be the city should just take all of the responsibility for all of these agencies onto itself? It's one person they're going to hire?
The city should hire a position that simply tries to coordinate them. Every single local organization in this city has an agenda. They have to. And they also have a budget. You know, I think it's great that the city of Wheeling is going to bring this together. And it's about time.
Fair enough. I don't see how this brings things together, but I get your point. And if there is, I am aware of, and I agree with you, there are problems in coordination with all of those agencies. I'm just not sure how or why it's the city's responsibility to fix that problem. Seems to me the agencies need to fix it themselves. But I get you. Michael, thanks for your call. I appreciate it. 7:40, 22 of the hour. Hey, here's a big surprise. I'm way behind time. Let's grab at least a quick newscast, Biffy. We'll talk to Zach, and we'll continue this conversation in a moment or two. Watchdog Morning Show underway here on WKKX and WVOY.
The WTRF Channel 7 News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
Now it's time for your...
I hope not. Well, let me know when we come, excuse me, if he, by the way, do I sound all right? I shifted microphones again today. Is this okay? Okay. If he calls, we'll go right to him. If not, you can go through a full break, okay? If he does call, I'll get him in, and then we'll take a break afterwards. Pardon me.
234-3680. Over in the Buckeye State, the Ohio State Highway Patrol is reporting 16 people lost their lives in traffic crashes during 4th of July weekend. Impairment was determined to be a factor in at least 5 of those crashes. Troopers made more than 900 arrests for impaired driving and drug-related charges. You're encouraged to call 677 to report impaired drivers or any drug activities. Moving back here at home, a new homeless liaison position has just been approved by Wheeling City Council. They hope the liaison will bring together all organizations that help the homeless. Mayor Glenn Elliott says it will help the city collect better data on the issue. Some residents may not see why money is going to help represent a group that is not considered productive in society, to which advocates say everyone deserves a seat at the table. Now's a look at your headlines. Have a great day.
At PNC Park, in the bottom of the 9th inning, Brian Reynolds drew a 4-pitch walk with the bases loaded to give the Pirates a 2-1 win over the visiting Atlanta Braves. You know, following a 6-game losing streak, the Pirates have now won 3 games in a row. Out of the bullpen, Richard Rodriguez pitched a perfect ninth to earn the victory. His record is 4-1. This afternoon, the two teams will play Game 3 of a 3-game series. NBA Finals, Game 1, best of 7 in Phoenix. It was all Suns. Phoenix defeated the Milwaukee Bucks by the score of 118-105. Chris Paul led the way with 32 points, 9 assists. A soccer note in the European Championship, it was Italy defeating Spain in the semifinals, and now the Italians will advance to the finals. In Tampa tonight, it's the Stanley Cup Finals, game number 5, best of 7. The Lightning hosting the Montreal Canadiens, and Tampa has a comfortable lead in that best of 7, 3-1. In golf, everybody was talking about the match, and winning the match, Aaron Rodgers and Bryson DeChambeau. They defeated Tom Brady and Phil Mickelson. I'm Bill DeFabio on sports, and we are the Watchdog.
Millions plan for retirement online. Estimate your future benefits, apply for retirement, and manage your benefits all from the comfort of your home. And give yourself the freedom to do what you want offline. Social Security's online services help put you in control with secure access to your information anytime, anywhere, allowing you to spend more time with family, friends, or simply just enjoying the day. Social Security, securing today and tomorrow. See what you can do online at socialsecurity.gov.
Over the years, you've brought opioids into your home. They helped when you were in pain, and you held on to them just in case. But holding on to opioids puts your family at risk. Learn more at www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
It's the summer's hottest party. The Circus Saints and Sinners Party on the Plaza. Enjoy all-day live music, food trucks, and ice-cold beverages at the Plaza on Market in downtown Wheeling. Get tickets now at partyontheplaza.org.
I'm Josh from Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration. I hope you are staying healthy. We continue to respond to structural, fire, and water emergencies. We are combating COVID-19 with our highly trained staff and latest disinfection systems, providing preventative and reactive disinfection to facilities around the region, while working with area hospitals on isolation areas and air filtering. At Panhandle, we continue to follow social distancing and hygiene protocols. We are dedicated to our community, and together, we will get through this.
Follow us on Facebook for the latest news, show updates, podcasts, alerts, and live video streams from the Valley's only network dedicated to local, community-driven talk radio, The Watchdog.
If you miss a part of the show or want to listen again, you can find conversations, interviews, and rants on our podcasts at Apple Podcasts or on watchdognetwork.com. This is the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe.
It is, pardon me, 73 degrees, Wheeling, Ohio County Airport, 72. Here at the home studios, it's foggy outside, and actually, the sun's trying to come through the fog a little bit here at my home studio, which I would really enjoy because it's really dark. I'm looking through the window and looking outside just feels like a dark morning. I love the sunshine earlier. I tell you what, this homeless position is creating a lot of chatter on Facebook, on Twitter, and on our text line at 304-214-1600. I even just heard from Tim Miley, former majority leader in the House of Delegates, minority leader most recently, in the House of Delegates. Tim's getting into the act with a couple of comments as well. And I got a couple of texts here that I'll get to in a minute that I don't fully understand. I think somehow there's a misinterpretation that I think there's not a homeless problem or that I don't want to address it. I do, I just don't know. And maybe the city even is the correct place for it. I just don't think this, I understand at least, I don't understand what this particular position the city narrowly approved yesterday is going to do. And boy, I'm getting a lot of texts on this. Pardon me. So I'll share some of this with you in a few minutes. Is Zach with us?
Yes, he is.
Okay, we got Zach Petty from the Big 7 at WTRF TV. Good morning, Zach.
Hey, happy Wednesday, Howard. How are you today?
Well, it's dark outside, foggy. That bothers me. But I'm also thinking about how hot it was yesterday. My God, it was hot yesterday.
It really was. It kind of looks deceiving whenever you look at the day in the weather data that was collected yesterday. It only measured 89 degrees at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport, which kind of, you sit there and scratch your head, but whenever we count the high heat, then you got to think about the mugginess. Well, that gave us heat index values in the mid to upper 90s, so that's why it felt so much hotter with only those ambient air temperatures only getting into the upper 80s.
Yeah, it was a doozy though. We tried to go to the park. It's our Tuesday at the park with my grandson and one of his little girlfriends, but we can only stay about 15 or 20 minutes. The heat was just so terribly oppressive yesterday.
Oh yeah, were you able to cool off in the pool though?
I didn't get in the pool. Teddy got in the pool, and some of the other kids got in the pool. Other relatives got in the pool. Neighbors got in the pool. My son has discovered, Zach, how many friends and neighbors he has now, and family members, opening up his pool and the big deck he built around it and so on. It's amazing how many people, Jason, thought I'd just stop by and say, oh, you've got a pool. Do you mind if I get in the pool? So I didn't, but a lot of people did.
I got you. Yeah, hey, at least you were able to at least stay inside and beat the heat that way. That's what I did yesterday. I stayed in the AC and just stayed the heck out.
Yeah, I made an effort in mid-morning to go outside. I thought, well, it's a beautiful looking day. I'm going to take some of the work and go sit on the deck and just get some work done in 10 minutes. And it was like, okay, that's it. I'm going back inside where there's air conditioning. It's going to be another hot. Well, by the way, what was our high yesterday? Do you know?
89.
89. Okay. Close, but probably not a record then, right?
No, a record for yesterday set back in 2012 was 98.
98?
Wow. Yep, in 2012, record of 98.
Holy sweet Ebola.
For
well,
July
I'm glad
6th.
it was not a record-breaking day. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
Today's going to be hot. I mean, we're going to be pushing 90, but not close to 90, not at 90, right?
Yeah, no, we'll be, again, flirting with that mid to upper 80s for the day. And in terms of walking through, looks like mostly sunny, partly cloudy skies early on, then clouds look to kind of build in as we head further along this afternoon. Maybe start to see some blips on the radar with some spotty showers starting to develop right around lunchtime. And then as we head further into the afternoon and evening, we're going to continue to see some pop-up showers and isolated thunderstorms rolling through the area. So the one thing I do want to put the disclaimer on, they're going to be very scattered. So not everyone will see rain showers today, but I do expect to see more of a widespread soaking rain, at least by the time we head into Thursday, tomorrow, with a cold front passing through.
All right, so a very warm, scattered thunderstorms, scattered keyword there. Still going to be muggy and warm during the day today. Any relief coming for the rest of the week then?
From mugginess?
Yeah.
Oh, no. No good news on that note, Howard. It looks like we're going to be remaining muggy. And how I was talking to Brother Biff whenever I called in, it's all going to be coming from, well, the relief will finally come late in the day, Friday afternoon, and probably through the weekend. But this cold front, it's going to be a slow mover. The cold front has just no will to get in and clear us out from the mugginess and dry air behind it. There's no weather makers over into the central plains to kind of push it through. No real weather makers to really stall it out. It's just going to be a very slow mover, meandering its way, definitely taking his jolly old time, at least because it's supposed to progress through late in the evening hours tomorrow. With the actual front passing through, we will probably start to feel the relief from the mugginess maybe late in the afternoon, if not evening Friday and into the weekend.
So we're going to continue into the weekend with the likelihood, pardon me, got something in my throat this morning, with the likelihood of rain, I guess, right?
Yeah, it looks like rain showers for most of the day tomorrow. There could be some letting up in the action as we head deeper into the afternoon, and then by the time we head into early Friday morning, rain could still be kind of piecing its way through, but by the afternoon and evening, we actually could start to break apart cloud coverage, clear the rain showers out with that cold front finally ushering in that cooler, dry air in the mid to upper levels of the atmosphere, and hopefully that'll give us a nice opportunity to enjoy the pleasantry of temperatures near 80 degrees, low mugginess, and maybe, go buy some filet mignon on the grill and grill out on a barbecue.
You know what I've had a taste for on the grill lately? I haven't bought any yet. Shark steaks. I used to love shark steaks on the grill.
Huh. Okay. One of my favorite things to do on the grill, Howard, is crab legs. I don't like boiling them. I don't like steaming them. I like either baking them in the oven or I like grilling them. They just provide just a different flavor, just how the grill gives you a different flavor on a burger than if you grill it in a pan and the grease doesn't just spew everywhere on the stove and oven that you have to clean up afterward. That's a real pain in the neck to deal with. But I like crab legs, but shark steaks, I've had it twice. I had it once whenever I was down in North Carolina a long time ago, and then most recently, I think I was out in California, and I actually had my uncle, very adventurous eater. He dared me to do it, and I did, and then I won, he said, I'll give you $50 if you order the shark steak. I'm like, all right, bet, free $50, and it was actually good, so.
I've had shark steak before. I really like shark steak. There's certain things I think I won't eat. When we were in Iceland a number of years ago, a member of our party went to a restaurant. He came back. He was all excited. He goes, "I had horse," and I thought that's a meal too far for me.
I'd pass.
Yeah, when I see him still today, he'll tell me, "Oh, that horse was so good. It was such a great horse meal." Yeah, I don't think so. Hey, give me a real quick look at Elsa. Is she still a hurricane, a tropical storm? What's she doing?
So it looks like it did, as you asked me yesterday, Howard, you said it was going to strengthen, and it actually did strengthen to a hurricane, but it has lost its hurricane status. It is downgraded to a tropical storm, but still packing a punch down into the Florida Gulf. We got reported winds at 65 mile per hour. I do expect it to make landfall within the next hour or two as a tropical storm into Chieffield, Florida. I think it was 35 miles southwest of Gainesville. Already reports of 6+ inches of rain that fell within 6 hours into Naples and Key West, Florida. So certainly packing a punch. Storm surge up to 3 to 5 feet for areas of Miami and Bradenton, Florida. So just keep everyone in the Florida Panhandle in their thoughts and prayers as they weather the storm.
All right, Zach. Appreciate your time today. We will talk to you again tomorrow.
All right, take it easy, gentlemen. We'll see you tomorrow.
You too. Appreciate it. 7:55, 5 before the hour. Biffy, I've completely lost track of time and space. Do I have to do a break or not?
No, we're good. I got it in while Zach was calling in, so we're good.
Very good.
Yes.
If you're watching on video, you know that I'm using a little different video background today. I've got the old Watchdog logo on my background. It's called kind of a green screen that I use. But I forgot that the green screen sometimes makes things go away. For example, if you're looking right now, you're wondering, what in the hell have I got in my hand? My Coca-Cola Zero is a black can with a red rim. And so the black just fades away into the background. It looks like I've got this red rim floating around nowhere on the screen. So I just realized how weird that looks. Jeez. I look a little bit like a ghost sometimes too. Well, we'll get this fixed. I'm trying a little different video approach to things this morning. Our primary conversation has been about this homeless liaison position created in the city of Wheeling yesterday on a 4-3 vote. My question is exactly what's this person going to do? The ordinance seems to suggest there could be a team built around him. I have to ask the mayor about that coming up next hour. A couple of the text line comments. All of those agencies advocating for the homeless have very different philosophies. This liaison will coordinate them, and that is sorely needed, which probably is true. But I would suggest that different philosophies is not necessarily a bad thing. There are agencies that need to be dealing with literally finding homes for the homeless. There are agencies that need to be able to provide temporary shelter for the homeless. There are agencies that need to be dealing with social services for the homeless. There's Project Hope, which deals with medical services for the homeless. So they ought to have different philosophies. I think that's important. Let's see. This is off my personal text line. Howard, the reasoning behind the homeless liaison position is sound. There are, in fact, different divergent agendas as to how local organizations, both state-funded and 501c3, do things. And again, that's okay. Divergent agendas are good because we have a multitude of problems. That the issue of homelessness is not a single driving problem. It's multiple problems under this large rubric of homelessness. So there ought to be divergent agendas. I'm not sure what the point of this is. Howard, Vance Presbyterian Church is like St. Michael. Both are located in a privileged area. Yes, I'm a member of Vance. I recognize it's a privileged area. Why don't you ask the pastor of First Presbyterian on Chaplain Street as to what they have to deal with being a downtown church? Again, somehow you're interpreting my comments as not being concerned about the issue of homelessness. I very much am. I just don't know what this city position is going to do to add to solving the problem. And part of my reasoning is because I don't know exactly what it is the position's supposed to do. And I've read the ordinance and I don't fully get it. So we'll talk to Mayor Elliott about that coming up next hour here on the show. Also have, as I mentioned, some comments that have come in from Tim Miley, the former minority and majority leader down in Charleston, who offered some thoughts on this as well. Tim says, the United Way of Harrison County has done some similar things. Maybe you should look at that, Howard. And then he sends me a text from someone that he got, just basically suggesting that the way you deal with homeless people is arrest them. I'll share that with you coming up next hour when I have a chance. Mary Elliott's going to join me. And I'm hoping the mayor can, I'm hoping the mayor can give me some answers to my questions. We'll find out next on the Watchdog Morning Show.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
Into a tropical storm, Elsa is plowing up Florida.
Oh, you're kidding me. Is the building shaking? Okay. The building collapsed? Sorry about that. Is the parking lot open? I'm supposed to come down today. Can I get in? Let's make no jokes. Let's make no jokes about that. Okay, I got you. All right. Everything else okay? Okay. I don't know if the mayor's coming in or calling in. Probably calling, I would assume, but he's supposed to do 8:10. And that'll get us through till 8:30, and we'll do a few odds and ends after that, and life will go on.